Get the cheese to Sickbay. The doctor should look at it as soon as possible.
Welcome back to the Shipyard. Specifically, get the cheese to Sickbay. No, this is not a segment about cheese builds. This is a segment about taking cards that need a little bit of TLC. For my inaugural segment, I am going to look at Klingon Elite Talents and talk about how I would make them a little bit better. We might be here for a little bit. So, here's what I'm doing. I've got Space Dock open, looking at every talent, and we're just going to go through alphabetically and talk about the talent. So first up, aim and fire. 5 points. When attacking with your primary weapon, you may discard this card to target a ship at range 1 to 2. The target ship cannot reroll any of its defense dice against that attack. No! Okay, what's wrong with this? Rerolling defense dice. Almost nothing does that. So how do you make it hurt instead? How do you make this card worth 5 points? You either need this to be a passive ability. So just, when attacking with your primary weapon, target a ship at range 1 to 2. The target ship cannot reroll any of its defense dice against that attack. But I don't think that goes far enough. I think you keep it as a discard, but you say cannot roll any defense dice. So, when attacking with your primary weapon, you may discard this card to target a ship at range 1 to 2. The target ship cannot roll any defense dice against that attack. I think if you do that, it keeps with the spirit of the card. You're aiming, firing, catching them a little off guard. And to me, that's a worthwhile 5-point elite talent. If you tell me one time you're making an attack count and they're not getting any defense dice against it, then I'm okay. Most of the time, that's going to cost them 1, 2, maybe 3 defense dice. You know, Nanclus is 5 points, and that's targeting in the activation phase. Meg charges 5 points. That gives you a conversion. So, that's my diagnosis for aim and fire. Next, patient. Alert status 1. 3 points. Action, discard this card to place a battle station token beside your ship. You cannot perform a battle station's action as a free action this round. My only problem with this is the cost. I think we need to knock it down to 2 points, and then we're good to go. Also, probably wouldn't hurt to get rid of the you cannot perform a battle station's action as a free action this round, but I won't quibble over that. But, you know what might be the best thing to do? Get rid of the action entirely, and say, at the start of the combat phase, discard this card to place a battle station's token beside your ship. Period. Wrap it up, and that is how we make Alert Status 1 a pretty good card, and keep the 3 points. Okay, next patient in. Change course. 4-point, non-unique. This card may fill a crew, elite talent, tech, or weapon upgrade slot. During the activation phase, when you reveal your maneuver, you may discard this card to change your maneuver to any maneuver on your maneuver card. No ship may be equipped with more than one change course upgrade. Lower the cost, or get rid of the discard and add time tokens to this. That's my only suggestions. Change course is a pretty good talent. Cry Havoc is our next patient. Action. If you are cloaked, discard this card to remove your cloak token and flip all of your shields back to their active sides. You are no longer considered to be cloaked. During the roll attack dice step of the combat phase, gain +2 attack dice this round. You cannot roll defense dice this round. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Klingon captain. Get rid of the not rolling defense dice, and I think we're okay. That's my best bet. I'd say lower the cost, but I'm trying to keep the cost as is. Yeah, just losing your dice, it's messy. Cry of the Warrior. When attacking during the roll attack dice step, you may discard this card. Gain +1 attack die for each opposing ship that has your ship in its forward firing arc, max of 3. The next time your ship rolls defense dice, roll 1 less defense die for each additional attack die you gained with this ability. Again, get rid of the defense die penalty. Other than that, I think we're okay. Gaining dice because ships can shoot at you is fine. It's conditional. Losing defense dice, that's a problem. Yes, I know you can combine this with things that take attacks like core so that your ship can be targeted but never actually take the shot. So be able to get a bunch of extra attack dice, but that's so situational that it's not really worth it. So I'd rather have this be a reasonable talent on its own, not completely dependent on everything else going. Defense Condition 1 is perfectly fine as is, no need to mess with it whatsoever. Same story is true of detonation codes, so we're not going to mess with those. Devotion to Duty. Action. When attacking with your primary weapon this round during the roll attack dice step, you may discard this card to gain +1 attack die for every damage card assigned to your ship, max of 2. That needs to go. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Klingon captain assigned to a Klingon ship. Yeah, just get rid of the max of +2. That way you can get a whole bunch of extra attack dice depending on how injured you are. That or like up the max to 4, and I think that it's fine. Stipulations of Klingon captain assigned to a Klingon ship, having to do it on the primary weapon, plus being an action. Yeah, that's enough drawbacks. Buff the max or get rid of it entirely. Dishonorable Tactics works well enough as is, so no need to go there. Inshaw is a 5-point action. Discard this card to perform one additional maneuver of your choice this round. I think that needs to be changed to just action. Perform one additional maneuver of your choice this round. If you really feel like it, put 2 time tokens on it, but there's no need for that to be a discard anymore. Back when it was created on the Negvar, that's wave 0. I understand, but today's power, action discard for just one additional maneuver one time, that's too much. But time tokens would be fine, 2, so that you could only do it every other round. Yeah. Klingon Honor. This card's a mess. Action, disable this card to add +1 attack die and convert 1 hit result into 1 critical result during any 1 attack you initiate this round. You cannot roll any defense dice this round. Okay, get rid of the you cannot roll any defense dice this round. That's step 1. And then I think get rid of the disable. Just make it action +1 attack die and convert 1 hit into a crit. That's a perfectly legitimate action for the cost, considering it has to be on a Klingon captain. So, I'm fine with that. Kuvah Ma, 5 points. When attacking with your primary weapon during the roll attack die step, you may discard this card to gain +1 attack die for that attack for every Klingon crew upgrade deployed to your ship, max of 3. Then suffer 1 crit to your hull. I don't love this, but I don't hate it, and Craig loves it, or at least finds it useful, so I'll take it. It can live where it is. I don't have a good fix. Long live the Empire. When attacking with your primary weapon during the roll attack dice step, you may discard this card to add up to 3 attack dice to your attack. If you do so, immediately after you complete this attack, your ship suffers 1 damage for each additional attack die you added with this ability. I would change it so that you just suffer 1 additional damage, period, not 1 per die you roll. 1 damage is enough. I don't think you need to add 1 damage per die. I think that's a little too draconian of a penalty. We're almost there, guys. Mok Tovar. Action, discard this card and your captain card to gain a number of attack dice for your first attack equal to half of that captain's skill number rounded down, max of +3. We get rid of the max +3. Place an Ox power token beside your ship. You cannot perform any free actions this round. Upgrade only on a Klingon captain assigned to a Klingon ship. Yeah, we either get rid of the max +3 or we get rid of the for your first attack so that you can spread the attack dice out over a couple of different attacks if you have ways to get multiple attacks. Again, too draconian of penalty. I I just want to see this not necessarily be a thing, but you're discarding your captain. That is such a drastic action to take. There needs to be some bigger benefit than, oh, I'm getting 1 or 2 or maybe 3 extra attack dice. Yeah, you can run it with skill Worf, and then Worf takes over as your captain. But that's a nice plan B. It's not a great plan A. On my command. During the combat phase, when it's your turn to attack, you may discard this card to delay your attack until after all other ships have completed their attacks. If you do so, roll +2 attack dice for your first attack during the round you use this ability. I'm okay with this. I'd like to see it not as a discard, though. Maybe put 2 time tokens on it. Maybe not at all. Just say, during the combat phase, when it's your turn to attack, you may delay your attack until after all ships have completed their attacks. You know, it's a unique talent, so there's not many ways to abuse it. I'd be fine. Once more into the breach is an action. Discard this card to allow your primary weapon to make a total of 2 attacks this round at -1 attack die each. You may not roll any defense dice this round. For 5 points, I think that the only good way to fix this card is to change the cost of it. And you change it to cost primary weapon value -2, something like that. Make it a variable cost card. Because I think this is when you are, thematically, you are focusing all of your attention on attacking. So you're diverting power from your shields, from life support, from everything. You're throwing it all into attacks. There's nothing left for defense. That's fine. Thematically, makes sense. But it's too expensive. And that's my issue. Kaplaw is fine for 2 points, being able to set a die. It works. Retaliatory strike. That's a problem. Alright, if your ship was just damaged and the attacking ship is in your forward firing arc and within range 2 to 3 of your ship, you may discard this card to immediately perform an attack against the attacking ship with one of your photon torpedo upgrades. You must discard the photon torpedo's upgrade when your attack is complete. This attack is in addition to your normal attack for the round. I'd like to add a caveat that it gives you a free photon torpedo upgrade and the weapon slot to carry it. That much maybe isn't necessary, but this costing 5 points and the fact that you have to take torpedoes and then your torpedoes are burned and you have to have everything necessary to fire the torpedoes, a target lock, be in range 2 to 3, yada yada yada. It's bad. This is just not a good talent. So either make this a 1-point talent or keep it at 5, but give me a free photon torpedo. One of the two. Sabotage. Action, discard this upgrade to target a ship at range 1 to 2 that is not cloaked, has no active shields. Discard 1 weapon or tech upgrade on the target ship. It works. The problem is that you gotta find an opponent that's not cloaked and has no active shields, and it's limited to weapon or tech. I get the thematic of it all for only 3 points, but yeah, so thematically, this card's fine. I would like it to say, have something like, if your ship performed an action that lowered your opponent's shields, you may use this as a free action. That might be something. That way it combos with like projected stasis field or named Nagvar, but that might be asking too much. I don't know. I can dream. This is a dream segment, so there you go. Supreme Commander. Action, discard this card. Target a friendly ship within range 1 to 3. The target ship immediately performs a free action from its action bar. If the target ship is Klingon ship, it may perform any action as a free action. This is a great card, but it costs too much. I don't want to change anything about the wording. I just want to make it like a 1-point card, because all you're doing is giving up your action so that another ship can do another one of its actions. And there's no way that that's worth 5 points. Well, maybe in a rare circumstance, but you're not bringing this for a rare circumstance. I want this to be playable, because this is essentially Martok 8 one time without the need for a lower captain skill. Not 5-point good. Just not. So make it 1 point or 2 points, and then toss on some caveat about you must target a captain with a lower captain skill than your captain. Then it's worth 1 point. Surrender as ordered. Please. No, Klingons don't say please. Action, discard this card to target one enemy ship at range 1 that is in your forward firing arc. The target ship may choose to not attack this round and disable all of its weapon upgrades. If it does, then your ship cannot attack that ship this round. If the target ship chooses not to do this, or if it has no weapon upgrades that are not already disabled, you gain +1 attack die against that ship this round. Okay, the first part's fine. The second part, it's an action discard for +1 attack die. That's not okay. It doesn't work. 2 attack dice? Maybe. +1 attack die and a battle station token. This card's already so restrictive. It has to be range 1 in your forward firing arc. You can't have bumped them because you need to have an action. I would expand this card to be range 1 to 2. Forward firing arc's fine. We can keep that. We'll change it so that the target ship may choose to not attack this round and disable all of its weapon upgrades. If it does this, then your ship cannot attack this round. So we'll change it. So your focus is on that ship. If they do what you want, then you don't attack. If the target ship chooses not to do this, then you gain +2 attack dice and a battle station token. But you must attack that ship. That way there's some give and take here, but your gain is really good. But the take, if they say no, then it hurts. The day is ours. During the roll attack dice step, you may discard this card to add 1 crit result to your roll. This card may only be purchased for a Klingon captain assigned to a Klingon ship. Yeah, I like it. The problem is, it's not worth 4 points. If Kunivas, which is a 2-point crew, can add a hit for 2 points, then a crit should be 3 points tops. That's it. Not 4, 3. Ideally 2, but then that's stepping on Kapla, which is setting a die. And I think that adding a crit is better than setting a die to a crit. So, 3 points for the day is ours, not 4. The game's afoot. If you initiate an attack while cloaked against a ship that does not have your ship in its forward or rear firing arcs, during the roll attack dice step of the combat phase, you may discard this card to gain +1 attack die against that ship for that attack. If you do this after you complete your attack, you may immediately perform a sensor echo action as a free action. I would get rid of the you may discard this card. Let this be a passive ability, just so that you can keep on keeping on. We have precedence of this off of Seela's Warbird, and I think that works. If you want to bump the cost of this up to 5 points and let it be passive so that I get 1 extra attack die anytime I shoot a ship that doesn't have me in its firing arcs, and then after I do that I get a sensor echo action, I might seriously consider taking that. I'm not going to take it every time, but I'd seriously consider it. And our last patient, we're going to get out of here. Warrior Spirit. When attacking at the end of the deal damage step, you may discard this card to roll 2 attack dice. Each hit or crit result. Damage the defending ship as normal. For each blank or battle station result, your ship suffers 1 normal damage to its hull. The roll cannot be modified, and the defending ship does not roll defense dice against this damage. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Klingon captain. Okay. There's a couple of things wrong with this. 1, the possibility that it does no damage to the opponent and 2 damage to you for 4 points is absolute garbage. So here's what I'd suggest. Let it be 1 guaranteed normal damage to your opponent. Then roll 1 attack die to see what happens. And I would say on a battle station, it does nothing. on a blanket hurts you. And then I think you drop the points down to 3. That would be ideal. Alright, that segment took a bit longer than I thought, but that is every Klingon talent that's in Space Dock that's not the Tyrol pack, but listen to Warp Core Breach. I talked enough about how I want to fix those talents on Warp Core Breach recently. Alright, with that, the Doctor is out, the cheese has been consumed. Tune in next week when we look at named abilities of Romulan ships and how we'd make those better. Alright, till next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care, guys.